The following presentation is sponsored in part by McLarty Daniel. Find your next car or truck at McLarty Daniel. Tyson Foods, powered by Tyson. Arvest Bank, Seaside Pools and Spas, Hogbox, and Explore Springdale.
Okay, let's give those boys and girls another hand. That was beautiful. Okay, so welcome families, our graduates, our celebrants. We are very excited for you. You've been with us. Most of you have been with us since kindergarten, and so it's kind of a hard day. But we are super, super excited for today. So if you have been here since kindergarten, please take a stand up for us. So yesterday, you may take a seat. Yesterday, moms, dads, families, our first group of 5th graders are graduating from high school. So we had our first senior walk yesterday, and these boys and girls got to see that. And we cannot wait until they are walking the hallway with us in 2026. Is that what that screen says? It'll be here before you know it. It'll be here before you know it. So we cannot wait to see your faces again and tell us what your future plans are, because we know you're going to go on and do amazing, amazing things. So Dr. Steuben and I have some awards that we're going to start with today. Our recognitions that we're going to begin with is our first recognition is going to be for some East students. So Mr. Worthy.
Hi, my name is Josh Worthy, and I get to hang out with these kids in the EAST program each and every single day, and we have a lot of fun with that. EAST stands for Education Accelerated by Service and Technology, and we get to go out in the community and work with real-life professionals to solve local problems. And anybody that's been in my class, they know there's 2 types of Worthy. There's Fun Worthy, who, you know, we have our fun Friday and we joke around. But then there's Worthy who likes to push it. So anybody that has ever been in my class, they've been pushed a little bit to grow each and every day. So first I want to recognize all the kids that have been in EAST at any point in time between 2nd and 5th grade. If you would go ahead and stand up, turn around and wave to your parents. Okay. Give them a round of applause. So bless their hearts, they've had to put up with me on a day-to-day basis. One thing that we get to do in March is we get to go to Hot Springs to participate in the National EAST Conference. And this is a big deal because it's 3 days and 2 nights with me, 4 hours away. And for a lot of our kids, a lot of our parents, this is the first time their kiddos are away from home. And a lot of people are like, oh, EAST Conference, it sounds like a great time. It's a big old field trip. But these guys are really working hard. They're playing an active role in meal preparation and hotel arrangements and coming up with a professional trade show booth that we man and participate in for 3 days. They're setting the stage and they're on the stage and they're representing this entire school. And so if you have ever been to EAST Conference in the last 3 or 4 years, go ahead and stand. We'll recognize you guys individually. So go ahead and stand up if you've been to EAST Conference. We should have 4. So Coley Ratchford has gone 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade as an EAST representative. Caitlin Spurlock has gone 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade as an EAST representative. And this year she actually participated on the technical support team. She's the only elementary student to ever participate in that leadership team. Hayden Brooks got to represent us this year, as well as Guadalupe Granados. So let's give them a hand. And I have to give their parents some praise because, again, they trust their kids with me for 3 days, and that's terrifying. So please go ahead and have a seat. So I have 4 awards. I call them the EAST at Sonora Elementary Award of Excellence. We started doing this, I guess, 5 years ago. And it's for kids that kind of represent the main pillars of EAST. And so we're just going to kind of go through, and when I call your name, come on up to the stage, we'll give you your certificate and take some few pictures for the baby book or the photo album. So the first one is the award, the Innovation and Sophistication Award. And so what the certificate says is, this certificate is awarded to the EAST student at Sonora Elementary who shows no fear when tackling a problem. They use innovative and challenging resources to solve local issues within the community. They make their team stronger by simply thinking outside of the box and searching for cutting-edge solutions to various problems. Now, I've had this student in East for 4 years, and I use the term no fear loosely because there were times this little girl was very fearful, but she was able to put that anxiety and that fear in the back of her mind and tackle a lot of problems. And she probably played a role in each and every East project we had in 4th and 5th grade this year. She was really kind of the glue or the duct tape that saved us in a lot of situations. This award goes to Caitlin Spurlock. They take direction really well. So, this award is the Community Outreach and Collaboration Award. So this certificate is awarded to the East student at Sonora Elementary who strives for a strong relationship within their community and serves as a positive agent for change. They are unafraid of breaking down the 4 walls of the classroom and seeking out major issues in the real world. These are essential to the team because they put others before themselves. This student, we had a rough go at it. I've had them for 4 years as well, and I've given them a hard time since East Night Out in 2nd grade, where they were to showcase to their parents their dream house they built in a program called SketchUp. And he couldn't seem to log on to his computer because he forgot his password. His password's his last name. The username's your first name, the password's his last name, and I've never let him forget it. But since then, he has grown leaps and bounds, and he's always aware of current events that are happening nationally as well as locally. He'll be like, hey, Mr. Worthy, you'll never guess what I saw on the news last night. Or, hey, I had this crazy idea to help local veterans, local military service people. He always had a heart for his community. And so this award goes to Bradley Locker. Okay, this is the Student Growth Award. This certificate is awarded to the East student at Sonora Elementary who grows beyond all expectations. Personal growth is the most important pillar of the East model. We have to grow students. That's my #1 goal, is to grow students, just a little bit every day. Which this student exemplifies day-to-day improvement and continues to hone their craft by setting lofty goals. They keep the team on track and are rarely taking a day off. This student, I've only had for 1 year. And they were kind of off the radar in 3rd and 4th grade, very shy, very quiet. To be honest, I had no idea the details about this young student. This year, she came out of the cocoon and turned into a beautiful butterfly, a powerful butterfly, and grew more than I've seen any East student grow in just 9 months. And she's just getting started. I would give anything to have her for 1 more year because you have seen nothing yet. And I can't wait until 2026 when she walks across the stage and gets a diploma because she's going to take over the world. This goes to Guadalupe Granados. This last award is the Overall Outstanding East Student Award. This certificate is awarded to the East student at Sonora Elementary who exemplifies all 3 areas of the East model. They are creative and innovative with their problem-solving skills. They embrace the local community as an East client, and they foster growth in not only themselves but the students around them. This student represents the East program at Sonora Elementary at the highest level of excellence. Had this student for 4 years, and they eat, sleep, breathe East, even at home, because when she goes to middle school next year, her father is going to be her East facilitator, and then the goals go even higher. She has always had a heart for people in need, and is constantly asking me questions of how can I help here, how can I help there, and it's constant, and that's all she's ever wanted to be, was an East kid. And that makes it really easy for teachers and facilitators. So this award goes to Colby Ratchford. them one last round of applause. Thank you.
Okay, our next award is a very special award. This is chosen by 4th grade teachers. I send them something, an email usually, at the end of the year and say, I need a representative from your classroom that shows great leadership that can do something very, very important for our school. And that is run our fire drills every month. We have to have a fire, and sometimes a tornado, and sometimes an earthquake, and sometimes a lockdown drill. And these students were chosen because of their leadership and their cue to keep us safe. So I would like for Tasia Wright, Bradley Lockwood, and Jackson Watson to please come. They have one more call, and that's the end of the week. And they get to work with the 4th graders that have been chosen already. Our next recognition is for Girls on the Run. Girls on the Run is a program we have after school. We have several teachers. Miss Reed is out there. She is part of the Girls on the Run. Mr. Northfell is part of the Girls on the Run. And they meet after school, and it's about building their self-esteem and making sure that they know that they are empowering and amazing women. And then at the end of it, they run a 5K. So I've run it with them before. It's more difficult than you think. So if you were part of Girls on the Run at any point when you were here at Sonora, please stand, ladies. Raise your hands, please. Thank you. Good job, ladies. Hopefully you'll keep running. Our next recognition is for Little Olympics, and that was 2 weeks ago. We had a great turnout, wonderful, wonderful job by all of our boys and girls. And we had one group that did place a silver medal in the boys tug of war. So if you are a participant in Little Olympics, please stand and face your parents.
I want to say something real quickly before y'all sit down, and Coach Cole said it best, and I'm going to try to remember your words, Coach, and I can't remember exactly. I'm going to paraphrase, but we may have been low in medals that day, but there were so many other things accomplished and won that day. Was that a fair paraphrase? Because I was so proud of these students, the way they were supporting one another, the way they were encouraging and lifting one another up. I have seen teams before who, if their team doesn't come in, they're like, man, you know, and instead they went up and I said, you know, there are 18 elementary schools. So if you were in the top 5, there were 13 other schools that you succeeded against. And they were building each other up and reminding each other and encouraging and patting each other on the back. There was no tearing down. They were what we want to see in the world each and every day, and I was so proud of them. So I want to recognize them again for that.
Our next recognition is you came in today and you saw our wonderful flagpole, but those flags don't get up there by themselves. We have some very dedicated boys that every day, whether rain or shine, wind blowing where they almost blow away with the flag, or snow, whatever it is, they are out there dutifully raising the flag and lowering it. They have learned about what it means to have a flag at half-mast, what that means and why we do it. So very excited and proud of these boys for what they've done. I need Noel Rodriguez, Corbin Sandy, and Braxton McCoy. we're telling them that some of our favorite conversations are with them before and after school. It's always fun to hear what they have to say or what they're telling us about outside. It's always a fun day. Our last recognition is Miss Calderon.
Oh, no, student.
Oh, I'm so sorry, I skipped Dr. Suman. Wow. No, it's all good, but these students might not want to. I want to recognize some students, and I'm going to go ahead and call them up to the stage. If you are a 5th grade representative on the S3T, if you'll come up front. And as they're making their way, I want to talk a little. This is something I started, I can't remember, 3 or 4 years ago. It's one thing to have the teacher voice in the school. It's another thing to have the student voice in the school. And so often in elementary, we forget that. And so several years ago, I went to the teachers and we talked. And so at the beginning of every year, we elect students. And literally they choose to, they decide if they want to run or not. They then write a speech, give a speech in their class, and their class elects and votes on representatives. So every year, everybody, every student in every class has an opportunity again. And in 5th grade, this year, these are our representatives. We have out of Miss Evie's room, Caitlin Spurlock and Enrique Benitez. Oh, Enrique, I'm sorry, you weren't up here yet. Then we have in Miss Price's room, we have Natalie Robles and Peyton Finisted. And in Miss Spurlock's room, we have Dorothy Delgado and Trenton Sizemore. And I want to tell you, with a project that they took on this year, I challenged them. One of the things we know, and you've heard me talk about it, is a passion for getting kids to read. We know that opens all kinds of doors for our students. And so I approached them and I said, what can we do this year that helps expand the culture of literacy in our building? They brainstormed, they came up with multiple ideas. And then after they came up with those ideas, the group voted on it. And each of them respectively, there are also 3rd and 4th graders on this team, were leaders in their own way, and they picked 3 projects. One project was Buddy Readers. Raise your hand if you were involved with Buddy Readers, most of them. And that is where we identified some students in 1st grade who may not, because of home life and just being crazy and work schedules, have someone to read to at night. So 3 days a week, either in the morning or the afternoon, they gave time outside of school to read with those students. And most of those students that they read with are making exceptional growth in reading. Then another group was our Earth Day group. And Trenton was part of that, and Enrique. And what they did is they helped throughout the year plan and spread the word about Earth Day and taking care of our school as well as our campus, and helped organize events for that whole week, which involved awareness and coming down and doing announcements and giving out awards. And then I guess we don't have representation, but we also did little libraries. And we partnered with Lakeside Junior High, and you'll see one of those in the shape of an owl in the front, and in the back, one in the shape of a bus. So these students gave voice to how they were gonna help solve some of those issues, and they really stepped up and were leaders in taking information back. They really were representatives. And so I wanted you to know the work that they put in outside of class and in addition to what they did. So please help me in recognizing them again.
Calderon. I'm the music teacher here, and I have a 4th and 5th grade honor choir. And these are kids that apparently like seeing me more than once a week, and they decide to put up with me for additional time in the week. So if you were in honor choir anytime last year or this year, stand up. I have never had a choir as good as these kids, so give them a round of applause.
Lots of recognitions, but we do have some awards that we want to give out in addition. And I want to tell you about these 2 awards. It's easy to get them mixed up. There are 2, and I'm actually gonna, on the agenda that you have today, I'm gonna actually flip the order. just so you'll know. The first one we're going to talk about is the Presidential Education Award for Outstanding Academic Achievement. And the district, because we are a large district, there are some things on the websites, the National Association of Elementary School Principals, that gives out these awards and organizes this, and they give you some leeway in your building to determine how you're going to recognize students. And about 2 or 3 years ago, the district made sure that across Springdale schools that the same criteria was being used. And so the first one we're going to do is achievement. And let me just tell you a little bit about that. These are for students who have met the following criteria. They were at the 90th percentile in winter reading or math on the MAP test that they took. That would mean they scored a 237 or above in math or a 229 above in reading. And just so you know, that means they scored better than 90% of the students who took that test across the country, at or above. And they were exceeding in reading or math ACT Aspire. Now that wouldn't be this year, they did just finish doing that, but we wouldn't have those scores, so that would be for a year previous. So we want to recognize these students. They do get a signed certificate from the White House, and then we also do have a copy of a letter that we'll be reading after both awards are done. So the following students need to come up for their recognition for the Achievement Award, and that's Dorothy Delgado. And thank you, let's hold our applause to the end, that'll help us. Rabiel Alfaro, Bradley Lockwood, Trenton Sizemore, Jasmine Henry, Alejandra Jimenez, Logan Princeton, Caitlin Spurlock, Kaven Harrell, Pele Parrington, and Liz Gonzalez. Let's go ahead and congratulate them again. All right, we don't want you all to leave the stage because we do have the letter we want to read to everybody. So if y'all will take a step back, we're now going to flip to the Excellence Award. And the criteria for this is a student who receives the Excellence Award has met 90% in their winter reading or math score. Same scores as we said before, math 237, reading 229, and they were exceeding on reading or math ACT Aspire. And we do have some students who qualify for that as well. The following students: Hayden Brooks, Jade Ross, Coley Ratchford, Lily Reed, Brooklyn Riles, Kyle Wynn, and Fabian Romero. Recognize you. All right, now let's recognize them. All right, guys, and if you want to drop back in line with your peers, I will read the letter. So if you just want to come back here and get in line with your peers, we just want to recognize you separately. You're like, why are you moving us around, Dr. Stuman? Why are you doing this? So the first letter is from Betsy DeVos, who's our Secretary of Education. And I don't want to block you all. It says, congratulations on being selected as the 2019 President's Education Award recipient. The President's Education Awards program was founded in 1983. Every year since then, the program has provided our nation's elementary, middle, and high schools with the opportunity to recognize graduating students who meet high standards of academic excellence and those who have given their best effort, often overcoming obstacles to their learning. The President and I are honored to celebrate your accomplishments and join your family and community in honoring you. By setting goals for your education and working hard to reach them, you are building a bright future for yourself and inspiring others to follow their own paths to success. I also encourage you to make the most of your studies and become a lifelong learner. You can discover new ideas and help lead your community and our country. President Donald J. Trump and I believe in you. As a 2019 award recipient, you remind us of the power of education in the lives of our students across the nation. Congratulations and best wishes for your continued success, Betsy DeVos. And the second letter. Mrs. Trump and I are pleased to congratulate you on receiving the 2019 President's Education Award. It is a privilege to join your family, friends, school, and community in celebrating your wonderful achievement. The success and education of our youth are vitally important to the future of America and the entire world. Your distinguished commitment to learning gives us great hope. Our nation is strengthened by your hard work, leadership, and academic excellence. We encourage you to continue to believe in yourself, strive toward even greater accomplishments, and pursue your dreams no matter what the obstacle. May God bless you, and may He continue to bless the United States of America, President Donald Trump. The last two awards are some things we are probably going to do in the classroom because we are still looking at data and we did not want to give out incorrect information and miss someone. So our perfect attendance, we're going to celebrate that, and we have some time left of school, right guys? A little bit. The other one did not come in. We have received information that we have some students that are getting a ClassWorks All-Star Contest winners. It's a new program we did at our building this year, and evidently we had, I think it was 6 students. They are sending us those awards, and they promised they would be here by today. We're hoping that that will come in the next week. We will recognize them. We will be sending parents pictures and posting that on all of our social media as well, so I apologize about that. I believe then that's the conclusion of our awards, but it's not the end of our celebration. Boys and girls, you know, sometimes the gift that we give you, you may not really understand it at the time, but we hope that this gift that you're about to see is something you really listen to the words about. It really was our theme today, and we have a book that we want to read to you. It's called Say Something. Pay close attention. Say Something by Peter H. Reynolds. The world needs your voice. Mine? Yes, yours. Go ahead. It doesn't need to be perfect as long as it's from your heart.
You don't have to be loud. Powerful words can be a whisper. You can say something in so many ways, with words, with action, with creativity. If you see someone lonely, say something by just being there for them.
If you see an empty canvas, say something with your brush.
If you see an empty lot, say something by planting a seed and watching it bloom. If you see someone being hurt, say something by being brave. Hey, stop!
If you see something beautiful, say something with a poem.
If you have a brilliant idea, say something with confidence. Eureka!
If you want to show the world who you are, say something with style. Ta-da!
If you are angry, say something to help people understand. You made me feel invisible. That really hurt. I'm really sorry.
If you see an injustice, say something peacefully. Inspire others to do the same.
Sometimes you'll say something and no one will be listening. But keep saying what is in your heart and you will find someone who listens.
Keep saying it, and you may be surprised to find the whole world listening.
If you are grateful for being alive, quietly say something to the stars, to the universe.
Some people find it easier to say something than others, but everyone has something to say.
So when you're ready, say something. Your voice can inspire, heal, and transform. Your voice can change the world. Are you ready to say something?
come up too? They're giving me the evil eye. You know, so often we are here to celebrate our kids. And so many of our teachers that are here that have poured in. But for this last year, these three ladies have poured into your students while also taking care of their families and things going on outside of our school walls. But they poured into your children, and they really poured into making today special. And I want to give a chance for you all and you all to thank them for a minute. And then they're also here to remind me all the things that they told me they wanted me to say. But we're going to continue the celebration here. I believe there's a place in the gym for y'all to do